right, Lagos, welcome back. This is still Overt Radio Breakfast Show this morning, and this is the Wake Up Conversation here on Overt Radio Breakfast Show. We are broadcasting to you live from the city of Lagos. Lagos is a center of excellence, the city that never sleeps. So this morning here, Ibuku and I will be talking about the previous headline story that we took earlier on, where on the Vanguard newspaper, which it says that only 55,000 doctors left for 220 million Nigerians. So Ibuku and I will be taking a look at the failure. Why should only 55 Nigerian doctors left to cater for 220 million Nigerian patients that are maybe some of them that will be taken to the hospital? So if 55,000 doctors, are remaining in the country to cater for 220 million Nigerians, so how did we get to this level? How did the country deteriorate? How did the country's health sector deteriorate to this level that almost every year we'll be witnessing, droves of medical practitioners leaving the country and nothing is being attended to it? The government, even past administration, not even this current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, past successive administration in this country, this Japa syndrome, they call it, have been neglected over the years. So this morning we'll be taking a critical look at what is wrong. What should the government do? What are the things the government should do? And we'll be taking a look at the years, the number of years when this thing started, how many doctors have left the country entirely. But before we start, let me just give you a brief introduction to that topic. So it says that the failure of Nigerian government in health sector, medical doctors have raised alarm that the country's healthcare system is facing a dangerous manpower crisis, with only 55,000 doctors left to serve a population of more than 220 million people. They raised the alarm at the ordinary general meeting and scientific conference of the Association of Resident Doctors, ARD, Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, FNPH, Yaba, Lagos, with the team: too few doctors, too many patients, the consequences of manpower shortage on the mental well-being of Nigerians. The doctors, among whom are mental experts, also said the present situation is worsening access to psychiatric care and leaving millions of vulnerable Nigerians untreated. The doctors also said no fewer than 16,000 Nigerian doctors have emigrated in the last 5 years, worsening an already dire manpower shortage in the country's health sector. They warned that the sustained exodus of health care workers under the Japa syndrome had severely depleted the country's mental health workforce. Widening treatment gaps increased the cost of care and placed enormous pressure on the few specialists remaining in the system. Confirming the situation to Vanguard yesterday, the president of the Medical Association NME, Professor Omoti Ernest, said recent data showed that the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, MDCN, had registered over 130,000 doctors, but not only about 55 are actively practicing within Nigeria. He said, with a population exceeding 220 million, this translated in roughly one doctor for every 3,600 to 4,000 people. So it is alarming that at every year, because according to him, data showed that 130,000 doctors were registered. And out of those 130,000 doctors across the country, across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country, across the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Now, out of the 130,000 doctors that are in NMA database, 55 of those 130 are actively practicing in Nigeria. So if you remove 130,000, if you remove 55,000 from 130, let me do the math here. 130, 55. So that means 75,000 doctors have left the country, and this is a huge number. 75,000 doctors have left the country out of the 130 that are in NMA database. Only 55 are left for 220 million Nigerians. Now, let me give a timeline just to show you. So the mass exodus of medical practitioners from Nigeria, commonly known as the Japa wave, has drastically reduced the local medical workforce. Over 16,000 Nigerian doctors have emigrated in the last 7 years. 7 years, 16,000 doctors have left the country, leaving the country with roughly 40 to 55,000 practicing doctors to serve population of 220 million. Okay, now in 2010, between 2010 and 2016, it was termed as moderate but steady attrition, an average 600 general practitioners emigrated annually. Between 2010 and 2016, between these 5 years, according to report, 600 general practitioners emigrated annually. Primary destination points included Europe, notably the United Kingdom, North America, and other African nations. Between 2016 to 2018, it increased further. Initial surge in international relocation. Reports from the PubMed Central indicate over 9,000 medical doctors left Nigeria over this 2-year period, driven primarily by poor working conditions and the search for greener pastures in the UK, US, and Canada. So the motives, according to the report here, okay, marked by following key phrases. Okay, all right. So details. Successive years of the conversation Converge reviewed structural issues such as 1, low budget allocation to health, often around 3.9%, inadequate equipment, and poor remuneration. Many resident doctors began taking the PLAB and USMLE exams during this window to pave their way abroad. So they have given the reasons why these doctors, remember that within 2016 to 2018, 9,000 left. Between 2010 and 2016, 600 left. So that means that between 2010 and 2018, within the space of 8 years, over 9,000 Nigerian doctors have left the country. All right, over 9,000 Nigerian doctors have left the country. Now, the Japa peak and government friction, over 1,197 trained Nigerian doctors moved to the UK in a single year. This is not in a space of some years, but this one in a single years. Close to 2,000 Nigerians, 1,197 Nigerians left, causing the country to vie for the position of second largest provider of foreign trained doctors in the UK. So as a result of this, Nigeria became the second largest provider of foreign trained doctors in the UK. So what is the UK? What is Canada? What is the United States of America doing differently that are attracting our doctors to their country? And we say we have leaders because every year, every time, every now and then we see these people will be traveling to UK, traveling to Paris, traveling to other countries. And I begin to wonder, since these people they are traveling, what are they copying from this country that they are going to?
Thank you, Kenneth. Actually, I just want to ask one single question before moving forward.
Yeah.
Who should be held responsible when patients die because there is not enough doctors attending to them? Because every time, especially General Hospital, you see everyone all the time.
Yeah.
You see that they will always record one death or the other. So who should be held responsible? Is it the doctors or the government? Who should be held responsible?
Well, when it comes to death, nobody is in control of death. So I think that we cannot directly say that because a patient died in a hospital, then we cannot be pointing accusing fingers, either the doctors, the government, or even the people, the family of the person that died. No, but I think that the thing that we should be asking is at the time of that death, at the time the patient died, were people around, were medical personnel around? What were the medications that were supposed to give it to that patient that was not given? So by saying that, so the thing is that the patient that died, did he die as a result of not being attended to? Another one, did the patient die because the condition that is going on in his or her body, has it gotten to a stage that it cannot be controlled? So those are the circumstances that would warrant a patient to lose his or her life in the hospital. I remember 2 years ago, it will be 2 years now, when an in-law of mine, according to what the doctor said, this person has maybe leukemia.
Okay.
Yeah. And from the particular hospital he was taken to, when they saw that they could not manage the situation, they referred them to Ikeja General Hospital. And this is a young guy, in his early 20s. And at the time of treatment, also again, another thing again that we should consider is when hospital gives bill, do the patient have the financial muscle to provide the medications that is needed? So another thing again, so we've pointed out 3 things now that can lead to someone's death, to a patient there in the hospital. The medications did the person receive medication as at when due? And also the ailment that he or she is suffering from, has it gotten to a level whereby it can no longer control, that medications given cannot fight the ailment in his body? And also it might be because due to late provision of fund for the hospital to commence or to continue treatment. So those are the circumstances that could warrant a patient to lose his or her life in the hospital. So
in a situation whereby there was not adequate, or should I say there was not adequate doctors or sufficient doctors in the hospital to attend to patients. Let's assume we have 200 patients in the hospital, and we have at least 30 doctors. How can 30 doctors attend to 200 patients at the same time? And they are having different illness. So that kind of thing, imagine we are using third equipment. What I mean by third third class equipment is former equipment.
Yeah.
We are not current, we are not updated about our equipment when it comes to health sector. Now the things that current thing can actually do, it will multiply. It is the multiplication of what the former equipment used to do.
Outdated equipment.
That
you
is
mean?
it.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I mean is, if there is a situation whereby patients were not attended to immediately, who should be held responsible?
I think that if patients were not attended to as at when due, well, it is the hospital that should be held responsible. The hospital should be held responsible, and also the doctor that is assigned to that particular patient should also be held responsible.
No, I was talking about 30 doctors attending to 200 patients. You know, they would have to divide it, probably section by section.
Yeah.
Let me say 200 divided by 30. 200 divided by 30 is, they might actually divide 200 into, let me say 100.
All right. So 200 divided by 30, that you get 6 doctors per, you get 1 doctor per 6 patients.
Per 6 patients.
Yes.
So at least 1 doctor should be able to attend to 6 patients.
To 6 patients, yeah.
So moving forward, let me just why do we think most of these doctors feel like they get more benefits outside than their own country? Looking at what most of these doctors are being paid
in the country.
Let's leave the equipment they use. Let's leave things that they use. Most doctors are not being, the money they are being paid cannot even cater for their own self. So most of them will see that, I think there is more benefit out there, especially when they have partners, they have colleagues over there giving them information about things over there. They will feel like, you're still in Nigeria. It is better. There's more valuable opportunities when you come over there. So why do we think people go? Because of payments, because they feel like they are limited to some things. They need to be advanced. They need to know a lot of things. They don't need to be limited to one thing that they see all the time. That is why we feel like some doctors feel like they need to go out there to go and learn more. So who should we blame again? We should blame our country, our government. Our government lacks some things. When you feel like we are using the same equipment that have been outdated for years, we are still using it. If you go to general hospital, you will see some. They will tell you that there is not enough of drugs. There is not this. There is not. Why would there be enough of drugs? And it is a public hospital. So why do we call it public hospital? Because it is affordable for everyone to come there. When we know that there is no enough of drugs, there is no enough of doctors to attend to patients. If they are capable to go to a private hospital, they will attend to them. That is why when you see a private, you see limited patients in a private hospital. Why do you see people go to public hospital to do antenatal, a lot of things? Some people are going through a lot of that. At any minute or seconds they might die, but they need your attention. But we have limited doctors. So this problem and solution, it is still in the hand of the government.
It's still in the hand of the government, because the buck stop on their table.
That is it.
Because it is the government that controls the health sector in the country. It is the government that we look up to, because anything that the citizens or the population want to get, it is the government that provides for it. We voted them into power, so it is expected of them to provide affordable medical healthcare services for the people. Just like Buku rightly said, that why is a hospital why is government hospital called public hospital? Because there is this conception that once I come to a public hospital, drugs will be available. Once I come to a public hospital, medical fare will be affordable, but in this case you hardly can afford, because if you even come to any general hospital, number one, they'll tell you to buy a card. It's another form of collecting money from you. So buy a card, then after buying a card, you go through some process, and after going through some process, they'll also take you through another process. So I think that this bureaucratic bottlenecks in our hospitals should be limited. Let us move from the old way of doing things to the new way of doing things. And Ibukun talked about equipment. it is high time general hospitals or even the primary health centers in our country, it is high time we upgrade, the government upgrade, most of the medical equipment that are in their hospitals, so that treatment can be diagnosed faster, ailment rather can be diagnosed faster, and the doctor should be able to know what prescription, what drugs should be given, because when ailment is diagnosed faster, you will get treatment faster. You're going to get treatment faster. So also another thing that I would like to mention is that the Minister of Health confirmed that over 16,000 doctors left active Nigerian service within the previous 5 to 7 years, pushing doctor to population ratio to roughly 3.9% per 10,000 people. This is alarming, below the suggested World Health Organization threshold, placing extreme stress on the remaining health workforce in the country. So in wrapping up this conversation, we call on the government to take example on how effective the healthcare sector in the United Kingdom is. How is it that the health sector in the US is effective? How is it that the health sector in Canada is effective, and other areas, and borrow ideas from these countries? And also, it is high time the federal government need to sit down and talk about how they can increase the monthly salary of their doctors.
Exactly.
I mean, if a senator in the National Assembly can be going home with over $1 million, I use the word $1 million because I don't know the exact figure, because there are some quarters that say that senators go home with at least a minimum of 15 million naira monthly. But if senators, if our lawmakers who only they don't sit in 12 calendar months of the year, because when there is holiday, when there is Yuletide, when there is a festivity now in the country, particularly the Christmas holiday, you will see them taking a whole 1 month of recess. So if senators can sit down and determine how much they'll be earning, if lawmakers in this country can sit down and determine for themselves how much they'll be earning, why can't they do the same for our medical staff in the country? Why can't they do the same for teachers in the country? Why can't they do the same for ASU members in the country? So as the lawmakers and the politicians are earning big every month, also those in the service sector, our teachers, our doctors, they should also be earning something that is worth more than what they are currently earning. Because at the end of the day, if you give a teacher a peanut at the end of the month, he or she will not bring out that heart to pour out in the minds of his or her student. Same way the doctors, if you pay doctors peanuts at the end of the month, the doctors will go elsewhere to look for where he will get more salary than what is being paid. So it is high time this administration, yes, we are not blaming the ruling APC, this current ruling APC, for what is going on in our health sector, because this is a problem that has been in existence for years. There are ways to tackle this thing, and what are those ways? Look at how other advanced countries, look at how advanced developed countries are, look at what they are doing in their health sector and implement it here. It can work. It is not a rocket science. It can work. They should be implemented in this country.
Thank you. I actually love what you actually said. You said, why would someone that wants to save life be paid penny or peanuts? You want to save a life and you are hungry. How will you save a life? Or should we imagine a doctor want to save someone's life and there is no equipment to save someone's life. So sometimes it's not disease or illness that killed someone, it is the ignorance, or should I say the ignorance of some of, I want to say, the doctors of our country. So I would say what government must actually put in place, number one, is better salaries and welfare, that Kenneth actually said. If you look at most countries, the UK, they have been given a package welfare. They give them benefits, good things. Even some people, most of these people that are doctors, they give them equipment for themselves. So why can't we equip this thing in our own country? Talking about modern hospital, we should forget about things that they do past. In the past stage, we should be current. We should look at things that they do outside. Look at other countries. Why are our doctors attracted to people, to what they do over the countries? We should implement that in our own country too. Let our doctors, let them be useful in this country for patients. Then talking about more recruitment, there are some hospitals that they are locked for years. There are some hospitals that don't even have enough of staffs. They should recruit more doctors, more nurses that would attend to patients. Then moving forward, we should actually strengthen our primary health care. Those that, like I said, those hospitals healthcare that was locked due to one thing or the other, we should look for some necessary things to do to it. They should apply some people, some doctors, some nurse that would be in that hospital, that would be in that healthcare.
Fantastic. Okay.
Then I think that's all I have.
All right, fantastic. Oh, Lagos, that is how far we can. That is where we're going to stop it here. Although the conversation continues on our various social media platforms. So you go to our various social media platforms on X, Overt Radio Live, on TikTok, Overt Radio Lagos, on Instagram, Overt News, and on YouTube, which we are currently streaming live on YouTube, Overt Radio, where you will be Overt Radio Live, where you'll be able to post your comments there on our social media platforms. All right, Lagos, that is how far we can go. Thank you very much for participating here this morning on the Wake Up Conversation here on Overt Radio. So don't go anywhere. 9:15, I will be back again as the conversation continues here on Overt.